Well, welcome back to our program. We begin with fuel prices. You saw the chart on the commodity market. Crude oil currently at $91 a barrel. So expect a 25 peso per litre increase in the price of petroleum products beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, if the price recovery and stabilization levy is reinstated. That's according to a forecast by the Institute for Energy Security. This is as a result of an 8.52% increase in the price of Brent crude, as well as a marginal depreciation in the cedi to the US dollar. Here's Nana Amwesi, the 7th Executive Director of the Institute for Energy Security.
Demand is growing, meanwhile supply has fallen on the global stage. And so whilst we see international prices go up, definitely it will hit the local markets until we find mechanisms that are more sustainable beyond the price stabilization and recovery levy to address these matters. For now, we are largely exposed to supply and price shocks because the Temoyo refinery is not working, the BOS strategic fuel system is not working, the cedi is still depreciating and it's not holding the strength against the US dollar.
Not looking that good, but what buffers must be injected to save consumers from these price buildups?
What readily comes to mind is asking government to remove some of the taxes and levies. But then, where we stand today, where we are, battling with yield levy and the rest, it's difficult to call for a removal of any form of taxes or levies. But then, let's also avert our mind to this. Whilst international prices goes up because we also trade our crude oil that we produce as a country, we are getting more revenue. So there's a windfall there. Government can look at this windfall and maybe extract one or two taxes or levies from the price build-up.
Well, the fuel price hikes would definitely affect LPG. Gabriel KUMI is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, and he tells Joy Business the consumption of LPG will continue to decline as many consumers cannot afford the cost any longer.
The LPG consumption in Ghana is on the decline. On the surface, it's very stagnant. The consumption is very stagnant. For the past 1 year, we've been stagnating. We've been doing about an average of 28,000 metric tons a month. And naturally, population is growing. So the natural expectation is that as population grows, there should be that natural growth. LPG should be growing by at least the growth in our population. But we are not witnessing that. LPG consumption in Ghana is stagnating. It's stagnated. And if you look at the real figures, you see that consumption is coming down. And we think that is not too good for a country that is wishing to push consumption to about 50,000 metric tons per month.
So how can the price build-ups, as we've heard from the IAS, further deepen the woes of consumption?
Obviously, as I did indicate, LPG is a product with an elastic demand. Any peso increase in the price of LPG goes along with reduced consumption of the product. So as prices are going up, the obvious thing you should expect is that less and less people are going to consume LPG. There is no way we are going to grow consumption of LPG if we are to keep prices of the product at where it is now. That is why we have been calling for a total scrap of all taxes on LPG.
Well, this is pretty tough for the LPG marketers, as they have earlier indicated that consumption is going down anyway. Let's turn to the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana, because as expected, the committee has kept the policy rate at 14.5%. This is the first time the rate has been kept same since it was adjusted upwards by 100 basis points in November 2021. Consequently, cost of borrowing is expected to remain relatively same for the next 2.5 months. Now, here's a quote from the central bank. It says the latest forecast shows that inflation would likely remain above target in the near term, driven by both external and domestic factors, and only return to target in about 4 quarters ahead. The key risks to the inflation outlook include rising crude oil prices, as we have been reporting tonight, and its transmission to ex-pump petroleum prices and transportation costs, rising global inflation, food price uncertainties, and the fiscal outlook. That's a quote from the central bank, which has kept the policy rate at 14.5%. Now, the Bank of Ghana has pledged to continue in creating an enabling environment to efficiently empower banks to carry out their role of financial intermediation. This, it believes, will accelerate economic growth and development. There's more in this report. All right, we're taking a short break. We'll deal with a few technical issues. We'll be back with more of Business Live. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Now, back to our earlier story. The Bank of Ghana has pledged to continue creating an enabling environment to efficiently empower banks to carry out their role of financial intermediation. This, it believes, will accelerate economic growth and development. Yes, more.
At the commissioning of the Republic Bank head office annex turned the Republic Court, Governor Dr. Ernest Addison said his outfit continues to keenly monitor all banks to ensure the stability and soundness of the industry. He urged the Republic Bank to keep the pace with the shift towards electronic-driven products and services.
It has been almost 2 years since the comprehensive reforms ended to restore credibility and confidence to the banking system. Since then, the Bank of Ghana has issued a number of directives, including the corporate governance disclosure requirements, which promotes and enhances transparency and accountability to stakeholders. The bank continues to keenly monitor all banks to ensure the stability and soundness of the industry. With the current advances in technology and the growth of fintechs in the financial service space, we encourage the Republic Bank to keep pace with the shift towards electronic-driven products and services. In line with the objective of customer centralism, we expect that financial digitization will shape banking business to compete with fintechs in the payment system space.
Senior advisor to the president, Yao Safumafu, who represented the president, advised the bank to emulate its parent bank's participation in the oil and gas industry.
Your parent bank, Republic Financial Holdings Limited, RFHL, of Trinidad and Tobago, has been very instrumental in the development of the oil and gas industry in the Caribbean. And I urge the Republic Bank to carry that expertise here. Let us see you diversify and get involved into the oil and gas industry in our dear Ghana. We will be happy to see this bank grow further because of what you have demonstrated, that you are a good corporate citizen.
On his part, Managing Director of Republic Bank Ghana, Farid Anta, said the building is a statement to Ghana, expressing confidence that their current location will enhance their presence and brand equity.
The Republic Court, as we have named this enviable, imposing, and magnificent design of a building, if I do say so myself, a statement to Ghana that we are here to stay, to Ghanaians that we are here, that we are the one for them, and the banking industry that we are indeed a force to be reckoned with.
The ceremony was graced by government officials, Osu Traditional Council, Chair, board members, and staff of Republic Bank.
Now, Chief Executive of the McDan Group, Daniel Mackorley, says the idea behind the opening of a new private jet terminal is to create jobs for the Ghanaian youth. According to him, there are enormous opportunities in the aviation industry, which he expects local entrepreneurs to take full advantage of, especially with the coming in of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, with Ghana hosting its secretariat. Daniel Mackorley was speaking to journalists after an official ceremony to open the biggest private jet terminal in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Magdan Aviation, after acquiring a fixed-base operator license from the Ghana Airports Company Limited, will start its first commercial private jet services with 3 airplanes and 1 helicopter. The occasion, which was graced by captains of industry and business owners, was used as a platform to unveil services to be offered by the terminal, which is situated at Kotoka International Airport. According to the Chief Executive, Daniel Mackorley, the terminal will support the job creation agenda of the Magdan Group.
You can see over 10 private jets sitting there. It tells you that there's a lot of business going on in Ghana. I mean, I'm not looking much of revenue, I'm looking at job creation. I mean, this is what can create direct and indirect jobs for the country. Now that we're always talking about job creation. And the Magdan brand is a job creator. We try to create more jobs for Ghanaians. Most of our industry that we are building, we are creating jobs in the country.
First of its kind in the sub-region, Magdan Aviation's private jet services will cater for the high-end clientele with a sense of optimizing luxury. Also, corporate executives seeking to leverage quick and efficient commute for the purpose of business can also enjoy the services.
Magdan is a global brand, and looking at the businesses in the sub-region, it's very necessary. And also with the introduction of the AFTA, the Continental Free Trade, this is very necessary. This is very, very necessary. This is where traveling to close deals, the oil sector, the mining sector, the trade sector, this is where you can move. The flights can wait for you, close your business and bring you back. And all other private jets that lands in Ghana, this is where they see class. This is where they pass through to see that, okay, with that, they can also see that Ghana had arrived.
The group hopes to expand its operations in the African region in few years to come.
The Ghana Enterprises Agency has supported 74 medium and small-scale enterprises with an amount of 7 million Ghana cedis. This, according to the agency, is to aid the growth of local businesses post-COVID-19. Chief Executive Kosianke Aye says the initiative is intended to help the private sector expand and create more job opportunities. At the grant and agreement signing and orientation ceremony, Ghana Enterprises Agency pledged to aid medium and small-scale enterprises to create employment through their support. It said the disbursement of the monies to the group will be done in the next few weeks. Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Kosianke Aye, revealed that her outfit will, in the coming days, launch the Technical Assistance and the Hybrid SME Fund, which is in line with government's aim to grow the economy.
In the next few months, we're going to launch the Technical Assistance and the High Growth SME Fund. As I mentioned, government is looking at pushing for the Ghana Economic Transformation Project to transform the economy and support more SMEs, which means that we were going to provide more support to SMEs and to build them. So within the next 3 months, so within the next month or two, you will not see the same, but in 3 months onwards, we will roll out the technical assistance and access to finance component that would provide really targeted interventions to SMEs to help them.
She said the agency will partner the Ghana Export Promotion Authority to provide a framework that will aid micro, small and medium enterprises take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area to expand their businesses.
Agreement. I think that for a lot of SMEs, and for those who are here now, our goal as Ghana Enterprises Agency is to help build them. So provide them with the tools to be able to be competitive. You need to improve your productivity, even improve your sales locally. So we're going to work in partnership with GEPA, Ghana Export Promotion Agency. They also have programs, and they have been leading the programs to build on supporting SMEs to take advantage of the AFTAG.
The Ghana Enterprises Agency works to promote and develop businesses in the MSME space. And you're watching Business Live. We will be right back with some more stories. All right, welcome back to Business Live. Now, preliminary data from the 2021 Population and Housing Census did not provide a specific figure on Ghana's housing deficit. However, the country is estimated to have a housing deficit of about 2 million units. Nikuba Anampati and Associates have taken an initiative to reduce the challenge encountered by Ghanaians. My colleague, Beverly Broom, visited them and filed this report.
This is a barren land, but the vision is to transform it into an estate by the end of June. Not the usual estates with iron rods and blocks with concrete binding them together to make a home. This one, you and I are not so familiar with. Let's find out more from Anapanti and Associates. Thousands of people lack a place of abode due to the expensive nature of housing in Ghana. It is common to find people seeking shelter in the open because they cannot afford it. But that narrative could soon change, as Chief Executive Officer of Nikuba, Batimos Nikwe, tells me they have an idea to depart from the norm of home building to make homes accessible to many with the creation of prefab housing.
We noticed that using prefabricated housing can reduce the cost of housing by 60%. And 60% is a huge margin, you know. So we also looked at some few factors, and we realized that it can really solve a major problem. Fun fact, it costs us $15,000 to build a 50-meter square two-bedroom house. Typical units like the Tema communities that was built by Kwame Nkrumah. What makes prefab homes different from the normal block building? Nikwe tells us more. Prefab is equally as competent as block housing. Steel is as strong as concrete. The only difference is the mode and the process that you do in building. When you have houses, you even get cracks. You have to patch it. But still, you don't get those issues. There's nothing like crack. There's nothing like any damage. And it's fireproof. Hope Latinyuonu, mortgage consultant at Anapanti and Associates, has been speaking about the affordability of prefab housing and their mortgage plans for Ghanaians.
The two-bedroom is going to cost $28,000, which is going to be on a plot size of 50 by 70 feet. The three-bedroom goes for $36,000, which is on the 50 by 70 plot size. And the four-bedroom, which is a two-story, goes for $55,000, which is on a 70 by 70 feet plot size. We've signed up with two top banks to offer mortgages at a very low interest rate. And the most interesting part is this. The mortgage lifespan is over a period of 20 years, depending upon one's age.
It is new, it is exciting, it's affordable. With the advent of technology, with creativity becoming a new norm, you are a potential homeowner, as Anapanti and Associates have redirected the focus on how to build a home. Beverly Broom for Joy Business.
Well, it's been long we brought you this. Tonight we've got Money Lab for you, some money tips to help you. Take a look at this.
Depository account is. A depository account is an account that holds listed equities and fixed income securities. One can acquire a depository account through his broker. The depository account sits with the Central Securities Depository, which is a subsidiary of the Bank of Ghana.
A bit of education for you tonight on Money Lab. That brings to an end our program for tonight. I want to show you what is trending on our news website, myjoyonline.com/business. As we've been reporting, the policy rate has been kept unchanged at 14.5%. Interest rates record mixed trends. Also, another big story for you tonight. Fuel prices to go up 0.25 pesos or cedis per liter from February 1, Institute for Energy Securities, and a whole lot more for you to read on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time tomorrow.